Hey guys, what's up and welcome to another episode of the Goodcast Show. So among the key discussions taking place today amongst the Malaysian-Indian community is of course MITRA and its future. Recent announcements have left many unhappy with the manner in which the 100 million allocation has been disbursed or not. Delays in disbursement, flip-flops on the decision made on who to grant the grants to, and now the allocation of 40 million to 4 initiatives that the PMX himself has deemed transformational has come under fire. Opposition leaders continued to ask the pivotal question, where's the money? More recently, my guest today held a town hall meeting titled Voice of Indian Makkals, MITRA Meeting by the public for the public. So today's discussion is going to revolve around the demands made and the points raised at that very meeting. So please welcome Master Baskaran. Master, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you, and I'm doing very well.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And we connected very quickly and you responded so even quicker. Thank you for that.
Sure, no problem.
So let's start with this. Who are you to fight for this issue?
Right. You see, first, my locus in fighting for the issue, I'm one of the recipients who has gone through a very tedious process organized by MITRA.
Okay.
And after a contract has been signed, they're saying, no, we are not giving you the funding.
Okay.
But to be very fair to them, no official refusal letter has reached us as yet. Number two, as a member of public, because I feel the public has been victimized and it need to be the voice of the public asking relevant questions to the representative or the Indian community. So on that basis, I'm here before you.
Now, but having that in mind, are you the best person to front this? Because considering that you applied for the grant, you received the letter which they call SST,
yes.
right? That's the term for the letter.
Yes.
Surat Setuju Terima, as what it stands for. And then you did not. So don't you think that there is a conflict of interest here, considering your bias? Because you definitely you are a member of the aggrieved. So how can you lead this movement?
You see, the central point here is public, okay? Whether public have received the funding, which transformed the community. I'm part of the community. That alone gives me a locus to speak about it. Whether I'm getting the funding or not, it's not a real issue here. Here, we cannot allow the public to be betrayed for decades. Okay, because this is what's happening. Okay, here you see, we are not here to go against the government. This entire movement is about asking a very simple question. If it is true what the government is saying, that we have allocated sufficient fund for the transformation of the Indian community, why for decades Indian community, although being only less than 7%, has not been transformed? So something wrong somewhere, okay? So
I think there are many factors to that, but I just want to come back to this point again. So then comes the important question is, would you have done this move if you had received your grant?
Yes, definitely.
So even though you received the grant, you would still done this?
I would still done it because there are many parties who are involved in this funding, you see. Out of 95 applicants, okay, 43 only were given SST.
Correct.
Okay, so the rest were not given, okay. And out of the 43, 13 has been given funding. Okay, they say 13 is further chosen to give the funding, and even that with a reduction of 50 to 70%. So even if I'm one of them, one of the 13, you have to go behind and see whether you can still do the program with a reduction of 50 to 70%. So it is immaterial. You see, this MITRA issue actually is a triggering point for the public to apprise and ask questions.
And that's right. And I want to get to that because that's in fact my next question. So, but before we get that, so you're saying that if all the 40 over people who received the SST were given the grant, you would still be doing this movement?
It depends on what terms they have given us the funding. Is it as promised, as per the SST, or is it with further negotiation? You cannot conclude a contract and then have and further negotiation. So that's what I mean. So here the situation is not like before.
So what do you say to people who may then say, oh, look, this is another Indian leader who is serving his self-interest by saying that he's fighting for the people just because he did not get the grant? What do you say to people like that?
See, for people like that, you see, people need to have a locus to come and voice out about something, okay? I cannot jump from the sky all of a sudden and make it this as a political issue. That will look even more suspicious like what you are saying, okay? So only interested party have to come forward. So if I don't have that interest, okay, I'm only talking about MITRA as a triggering point, okay? If I do not have that interest, who will come and voice it out? So let it be whatever the perceptions of the public or whoever it is, But this interest is the one which has brought me to come forward, okay? To speak about whatever betrayal that happened in the community as a whole. And I repeat again, MITRA is only a triggering point. There are so many other issues in relation to the Indian community. So I'm not here only to talk about MITRA.
Understand. And you said that in a speech. To be fair to you, you said that MITRA is just a triggering point. This was at the town hall meeting that you did. You said there are many other issues. What are these issues?
Okay, the other issues that we have to speak about is whatever allocation. Okay, even Prime Ministers during the parliamentary announcement, he said very clearly, saya tidak menganatirikan orang India. Allocation has been given. The biggest questions that we have is that where is the funding? Where actually the funding has gone? Okay, so that's create a big vacuum on where the money has gone. Is there a proper investigation done on that? Okay? You see, even SEDIC has started in 2016. Okay? And now we are in 2025. Where is the report which says, they are talking about high impact transformational program.
Correct.
Where is the report of this transformation that has taken place? And how it has impacted the Indian community at least for a decade now.
Could that be the fault of the Indian opposition leaders? Because most of the time, the answer is, the question posed is, where is the money? Why, has it been fully handled? The biggest issue I have read in terms of issues of opposition leaders is, 100 million has not fully been disbursed. And so which prompts the current or the previous Indian MPs in government, in power to say, okay, 100 million disbursed, our job is done. So the question was never posed that what is the transformation that has taken place? It's always the 100 million, why isn't it been disbursed?
Okay, this is a bigger spectrum.
Okay.
This is a bigger spectrum where the public wanted to look at it now. It is not question about whether you have finished the 100 million. It's the question of how the 100 million has been used, to whom that 100 million has been dispersed, and whether the people who has taken the funding has transformed the society. But a clear outlook of the society today will show that the real transformation did not happen. I tell you why. Because you see, there is a huge question, okay, by our Indian YBs. Are you saying that there is no transformation in the Indian community? My answer is very simple. Yes, there is a transformation. But the transformation is because the Indian community work hard to push themselves from B40 to M40. And today in the Indian community, M40 is divided into two, lower M40 and upper M40. So it's not because of the opportunity that we have received. It's because of the hard work of our parents.
So if that's the case, then why are we relying on handouts? If you just said the example that Indians have it in ourselves to elevate ourselves from whatever situation they are in, why not privatize this and stop relying on handouts?
That is as of my right. This is the right of the public. Not everybody in the Indian community is able to push themselves. That is the reason why we still have B40. See, people from the B40, okay, for example, my father is a government servant, okay, he's a machine operator. So obviously we fall square within the B40 community. But then through education, my mother has spent every penny in her hand to educate us. And today, my 6 sisters and myself, we are in a different position today, purely not because of the funding that we have received from the government. We have to sell our property. My mother have to pawn her jewelry to educate us. If you don't have jewelry, if you don't have any property, even a minor property, how you're going to uplift? You still remain as B40. So these handouts is very, very important for certain group of B40.
So then, shouldn't you then be in support of what PMX said in Parliament, where he said that 1 billion was allocated through different schemes, for example, the SDR Sara, the housing schemes and all that. Isn't that a good thing?
It's a good thing. I'm not denying it. You see, all this initiative which we are talking about, the Sara or efficacy or whatever it is, this is been allocated for the Malaysian community.
Correct.
Okay? We have to get it very, very clear here. This is where that I'm not agree with some of the Indian YBs. You don't lump that into this. That everybody gets. So are you saying efficacy and Sara is only for the Indian community?
No, it's for everyone. Yeah.
It's for everyone. So my question here is, if that is for everyone, what is a big issue about it? Why do you have to take the money from MITRA to subsidize that? My question is very simple.
Subsidize what, sir? Sorry, I don't understand.
For example, the 4 initiative introduced by the Prime Minister, it is being subsidized from the MITRA's funding. So my question is, does the Malay community subsidizing? Does the Chinese community subsidizing for something which is available across to all the races?
Only us.
Only,
that one is only
us. So, you see, one thing that people have to understand, the public need to understand is that MITRA is there for a specific purpose. And that specific purpose is transformation. So, this is the key word.
So then, exactly, that's the key word. So how would you define the word transformation in the context of MITRA?
In the context of MITRA, you see, even if you take Oxford Dictionary, it says you change the form, the nature of something.
Yes.
Okay, now my question is, we are still talking about ancient initiatives like temples, like estate workers and things like that. We are talking about it since 1980s. The Indian community, through their own hard work, have transformed. Look at the current needs of the Indian community. The current need of Indian community is no longer, okay, without any disrespect to temple issues or the Tamil schools or whatever it is, I want them to look into the current needs. The transformation programs has to be consistent with the current needs of the Indian community. And I feel that's being failed very miserably.
So then I ask you, what are the current needs that you think MITRA should be addressed from a transformational perspective?
For example, we are moving towards AI. Okay? Why is the programs about AI?
One of the 4 initiatives, 5 million to ICT upgrades in Tamil schools.
Tamil school? Okay, now I'm talking to you. Okay? Tamil school is only up to lower secondary.
Yeah.
You can transform or you can give knowledge to children of that age about AI, which is a very, very complex.
Sir, to be fair, just a counter. But to counter your point, sorry to interrupt you, but to counter your point, Tamil school students are doing very well in foreign science projects and technology projects. It seems to be they can understand things that even I at my age have no clue about.
I'm not denying that. But my point here is, okay, I concede with what you are saying, okay. Thank you for bringing it. If the Tamil school children are doing very well in that aspect, isn't it the responsibility of the education ministry to fund it? You see, recognition. I'm talking about recognition. You are saying Indian students are doing very well. I agree with it. So, why shouldn't the education ministry recognize it and put the funding? They have a bigger budget. Their budgets are in billions. Why do you need 10 million from MITRA? You invest, you identify, these children are very good, okay? I'm going to form the computer lab or whatever it is for the Tamil school.
So are you saying then that 10 million from MITRA to fund this upgrade of Tamil schools is not transformational, but the 60 million to the projects that the NGOs have submitted are transformational? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that is transformational, but the funding is already elsewhere. It's already with the education ministry. I'm not denying that it will not transform. Because the children are the pillar of our society,
our future,
the future. That is not being denied here. But I said, the 100 millions that you have given, okay, let people do some other projects, some other programs, okay, which can complement this existing program or something of a different nature. I'm asking you something, okay? In terms of social upliftment, okay, maybe religious upliftment or spiritual upliftment and all those things, okay, where can these people can go? Is there any ministry who can give you that?
No.
No. So Mitra is only there. See, I find, okay, a spiritual upliftment is also important for the upliftment of the community, where these people can go. So I feel the 100 million should be used in addition to all those things. Don't take away this money and put it on something which is already there.
Why can't the temples fund it? They get a lot of money, much more than Mitra sometimes.
Correct. Exactly. And even now in this initiative, 20 millions is being allocated, okay,
To the temples.
My question is, beautifying the temple, how is that going to transform? For decades, we have been giving money to temples. I am not against temple. I'm a spiritual master. I'm not against it. But what I am trying to say is that have that actually transformed the society? And when you talk about Indian community, okay, why only temples? Aren't there Christian in the Indian community? Aren't there Indian Muslims in the Indian community? Aren't there Buddhists in the Indian community? It's a further discrimination if you ask me. Okay? Don't tell me. So you, by only talking about the temple, you are indirectly taking away all the Christians and the Muslims.
But
and
again,
the Buddhists.
that comes back to the root cause here. Because if you look at the prime ministers that we've had, all of them are from UMNO. They are UMNO breed, okay?
Sure.
We've never had somebody who's out of that.
Yeah.
And when they come from that UMNO setup, they are brought up in a political way that they are taught to focus on their own community. Malay first, and then Indian will take care of Indian, Chinese take care of Chinese and all that. That, what you're talking, isn't that the fault of the Indian leaders of history who oftentimes champion temple issues and rile up the most mileage? And so the government of the day, I can picture this Malay minister or prime minister saying, aku tak tahu lah, tapi nampak macam temple lah, there's a big thing. So we give for temple. So isn't that the fault in leaders who don't put up other issues?
Absolutely. I'm here today. It's because of that. What I'm trying to say is that these Indian YBs, past and present, fail to picturize the real need of the Indian community. They think, if I give money to temple, if I give money for religious classes, if I give money for certain things, Indian community will be transformed, Indian community will be happy. This is a trend.
I think it's the second one. They just want them to be happy, to vote for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, before we continue, I think you guys been watching, and maybe just to everybody to know what are the 4 initiatives that Prime Minister has recently announced to empower the Indian Malaysian community that he has identified as transformational. Number 1 is a 5 million allocation for infrastructure, public amenities and safety upgrades in Indian settlements. Number 2 is a 5 million allocation to upgrade ICT laboratory equipment in Tamil National Type Schools, SJKT. Number 3, 20 million allocated for the empowerment of Hindu temples as community centers under the Dharma Madani program. And number 4, 10 million ringgit dedicated to minor repairs and maintenance of plantation workers' housing. All this will be funded by MITRA. So that's what we were talking about, just to clear for everyone. Now, we'll get back to these 4 initiatives, which I'll definitely have a lengthy discussion with you with. But in your speech, you say that the entire community is being victimized. What do you mean by that, sir?
So it's very simple, okay? Has the funding reaching the entire community?
No, because it goes to NGO, so it's selected, yeah.
So it is not reaching the entire community. Of course, okay, we are only talking about B40. But as I told you, there is another category called lower M40. They need it as well, okay? I just give you an example. We are talking about Tamil schools, okay? We are talking about Tamil schools. Good. I'm not saying that, please remove this initiative. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I want people to think that a lot of Indian children are also going to Sekolah Kebangsaan.
Yes.
Okay? they are completely neglected.
Okay.
If you really look into the entire, if you take maybe if you do a survey on it, I think maybe majority or half of the B40 and the M40, the lower M40 are going to Sekolah Kebangsaan. What is the intervention program in Sekolah Kebangsaan? Like for example, you highlighted, Tamil schools are doing very well in the AI. But my point here is, yes, you are looking after one sector, but you're neglecting a bigger sector.
Okay.
Okay? Because every time you're talking about funding for B40, don't neglect the lower
M40.
M40. Okay? So I'm saying the exactly the same way. Okay? The number of ministries are there. Okay? They have allocated funding for the entire communities.
Yes.
Okay? These Indian YBs, what they should do? They should go and explore at every ministry just to see what kind of allocation they can give for the Indian community. I think you recently interviewed Dickham, am I right?
Yes.
Dickham Lutz. And he made an admission that the need of the Indian communities were only identified in 2024. So the funding is there with the Human Resources Ministry, but not identified and not being informed. I'm sure that that's very fresh in your mind.
Yes, yes.
Okay? So what I'm saying is that there is funding in other ministry, no doubt. I'm not blaming the government. The government is being very fair in this matter. Okay? But how much of this information has actually reached the Indian community?
Information about the funds.
About the funds.
But is that the role of the government or the people? The Indian people? Because I've had many people who have come on this podcast who've also voiced out that when they have programs like TVET programs and all that, the response from the Indians are weak. That's a common thing that a lot of people say. Shouldn't I as an Indian, if I want to prosper in my business, I should look out for the grants, I should look out for the loans. Why is it the government's responsibility?
Then why do you have an Indian representative in the Dewan Rakyat? What is your duty? You see,
no, he represents his constituency, which are made up of all races.
Correct.
But I'm saying, like, say, because you brought up the funding of different funds in different ministries. If that, like for me, the way I know that the funds happen, for example, I attended conferences or seminars where they brought, Indian business councils organized, they brought all the different funding, SME, bank, all the ministries are Tekon, all sorts of, you'll be surprised at the amount of money out there available for business. That's my own effort. Why do you blame the Indian representatives? Why do you blame the government for the information not reaching the people when the people don't seem to want the information?
Okay. In contrast, okay, you have heard it from this perspective.
Other perspective, okay.
I'm meeting the public are saying, I don't know where to go. You cannot put everyone as intelligent as us. Maybe there is a good educated group of people in the community. In contrast to that, there are people probably who doesn't understand things, okay? What's wrong? I'm asking you, is it a sin for you to give this information out? It's not a sin.
It's not a sin.
Okay? So it is basically an initiative to inform. But as much as you are saying the Indian communities are not joining, the same public is telling us that we don't even know this exists. So we have to close this bridge, okay? It's very easy to blame the public and the public to blame these people, okay? But I think the public and the representative have to work together and they have to close the gap. You see, that is more intelligent things to do rather than keep on blaming the public. Oh, I'm doing this program, you're not coming. Okay? So the other thing also I would like to say here is that you are taking an initiative. Okay? Okay. You see, I lived in a developed country, put it that way, in many years.
Okay.
I don't want to say why. Okay? There, if the government wanted to bring in an initiative involves the public, they will do a survey first. They will do a survey to understand what is the need of that particular community. Okay? And then they offer initiative which is relevant to that. But here, who is choosing the initiative? It might not be relevant to me. You see, you have to design your initiative according to the needs. For example, I'm telling you, 20 million for a temple. Okay? Do you think that everybody in the Indian community is temple goer? The current generation are not going to temple. because they feel there is no takeaway from the temple. Temples are not educational center for them. Okay, I've tried to fix an appointment with YB Saraswati from November last year to say that, why don't we have a national syllabus? Okay, national syllabus on spirituality. Okay, and convert the temple into an education center. See,
But isn't that what the Dharma Madani program wants to do?
they are thinking about a community center. That is a different thing. Okay, a temple should be a temple.
Okay, but back to your point, and I also want to touch on the Dharma Madani program because I think I want to get your views on it. But you brought up an interesting point. You said that people are not going to the temple, the youngs are not going to the temple because they don't have any takeaway.
Correct.
The same problem happened in Italy, if I'm not mistaken, where the churches in Europe, where they felt that the attendance on Sundays were declining. Their response was to produce the movie Passion of the Christ. Which then, if you have seen it, although it's banned in Malaysia, I also didn't see it, I just heard about it. But you can, it's very emotional, it triggers you and you really, wow, it's a powerful movie, okay? And they saw a rise because people now understand.
Correct.
Shouldn't our leaders now, instead of waiting for the government, then do things like this? We don't do things like this because when you talk about temple, there are gatekeepers, Hindu Sangam, and then you have Batu Caves. You have all sorts of gatekeepers, and we can't seem to. The journey, the road to God has many toll gates. So again, why are you pointing the finger at the government? It's the people, our leaders, our community leaders who have failed us.
See, in the meeting on the 30th of August, I raised a question. Okay, who actually failed us? I'm telling you again, Mr. Vinod, it is not the government. My target is against the representative of the Indian government. You correctly pointed out the system, the system in Malaysia, of course, is divided into races. You cannot deny that.
Yeah, you can't go away from that.
You have to go back to the history. Sometimes it's not easy to change the history. We already have that mentality in us, okay?
Yeah.
So now we have to play with what we have, okay? So as you correctly pointed out as well, for the Indian welfare, we have Indian representative. My question here is that the Indian representative has failed us miserably. I'm not saying, for example, take a very easy analogy, okay? 2016 to 2025, we are talking about 9 years, but live alone 2025, we haven't received the fund yet, We take until 2024, 100 million a year in these 8 years is 800 million. Where does the 800 million went?
Good question.
To whom it is given?
Even a better question. So now, two things I want to bring up to that. Firstly, you mentioned earlier about how when you stayed in a developed nation, when they want to roll out an initiative, they will do a survey.
Correct.
Fun fact about the Malaysian Indian community is that we have had 6 blueprints for our community since 2013 to 2025.
Correct.
Started off with the Buku Biru by Tan Sri Manika Vasagam, ended with the the biggest one was the Malaysian Indian blueprint under Dato Sri Najib. Now MIPP have reset 2027 and apparently Izzah has another plan. We don't know what these plans are. Reset 2027 has nothing inside. Izzah's one, we don't know what it is, right? So the idea here is that if you're saying, and if you look at the plans, like MIB, for example, the Malaysian Blueprint, fantastic. They isolate a few problem areas, and I say go for it. Go for it, right? Pakatan Harapan in the 100-day promise, they had 28 promises to the Indian community. Fantastic promises, each and every one. So do we need a survey? Or shouldn't we just, our Indian leaders and even like you who become like a community leader, shouldn't you all push, enough of this, we have wasted enough time, pick up one of these blueprints and do it now.
Exactly, that's why I'm coming, Of course, the lack of research, I was talking about the 4 initiative, which was announced without consultation from the public, put it aside. Blueprint, when come to a blueprint, The blueprint is there. But why none of the Indian leaders that we have champion that? You see, even now, they had a system in MITRA. That's where that all of us came in. They opened the portal in 2024, December 2024, make us to put the application and things like that. You have a system. My question here is, if you already have a blueprint, Why don't you change the system in the Mitra? Identify what you're going to do. You cannot open the portal and say that this is the area that I'm looking at, and then you invite the people to do that, and then you sign a contract, and then you just left us in limbo. That, to me, is very, very wrong. Okay, as you correctly pointed out, the blueprints are beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But
they're beautiful.
So, because I bring this point up because you have questioned, you have among your demands, which we'll get into, you have asked for a no confidence vote for Indian representation.
Correct.
You have asked for that.
Yes.
But shouldn't you also then ask for a no confidence vote on the opposition Indian leaders who seem to not fight for the right things? For instance, the reason why some of the issues we've seen the government responding quickly is because of the noise made by the opposition. Okay, whether it's Indian issues, Malay issues, whatever. When the opposition makes noise, you see like recently the whole URA has been paused because of the noise made. Their noise is only Mitra allocations need to be increased to 500 million, 1 billion, 2 billion, all this lah. They have said all this. No one has come and said, hey, enough of all this rubbish. We won't take the MIB now, take it out from the archives and do this. They don't champion. So shouldn't the no confidence vote be cast on all leaders?
All. If you really look at my sentence there, I said all YBs.
But YBs means government, lah. It doesn't mean opposition.
Not necessarily. It can be.
Because now there's no YB in the other side, Indian YB. Yeah.
What I meant is, even when there is another demand where we're asking for an independent public commission.
Yes.
It's not only against the current leaders. Okay. Because the current leaders are also inexperienced because the government itself is very new. Okay. But I think a lot of betrayal has also happened. I agree with you. It's also happened prior to this. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to bring all these people to accountability. Okay. Somewhere the public has to ask this question. I think we have left it too long.
I want to get to that point where you mentioned that you asked for a public commission, independent public commission made out of public citizens to analyze Mitra.
Correct.
Right? Number one, I have two questions in this. Number one is, why not go with just a simple way, demand that an external auditor audit the accounts of Mitra from SEDIC till now? Okay, that you get one of the big four to do it, so that you know there's an ethical standard there. That's one. Second question is, why a public commission when we have seen the case of recently when the whole that whole temple in Masjid India happened? There was an announcement that Malaysia Hindu Sangam was going to form a committee and all that to address this issue. Now the problem has now been swept under the carpet. We don't know updates. We don't know how many temples have been switched the status from illegal to legal. We don't know. So, is a public commission just adding another level of on top of red tape on top of an issue, which is so simple? It just takes the individual to demand, I want this now. Shouldn't that be the way?
I agree. Who's going to demand?
People. Don't need a commission.
Yeah.
People get together, storm the gates.
Yeah, but then you see, who's going to do the work?
People such as yourself, sir.
Correct. Okay. So, see, we are moving as a movement. We are a task force, okay? I don't want any involvement of a political party or organization here. As you correctly pointed out, it's public. But somebody have to voice. There must be somebody who has to stand there, get the public's opinion, and put it across, okay? So until then, you see, the government is also going to keep quiet. The government is now thinking everything is lovely jubbly in relation to the Indian community. I can see from the way our prime ministers were talking, he is with the impression I have given the Indian community should prosper one.
Yeah.
I think he himself really doesn't know what is happening in the Indian community. Because who is advising him? The people who fail us is advising him. Am I right?
Which brings another good point, because you said in that town hall meeting, you said that you don't want to blame YB Prabha because you think that YB Prabha also has been let down.
Correct.
Why?
Okay, now you see, in relation to YB Prabhakaran, I would like to confine myself to this Mitra funding 2025. The portal was open under whose?
Very smart, by the way, sir. I see what you're doing.
Okay. Who opens it? Who made the announcement? YB Prabhakaran. YB Prabhakaran was heading the MITRA. Everybody was working under MITRA. Then the entire process, he's the one is the decision maker. Then he is the one who came. It's a ceremony, giving out the SST.
I saw.
Okay? Called all of us to the stage. YB Prabhakaran was there. Officer from Jabatan Perdana Menteri was there. Photographs were taken and, all so beautiful, So when everything is done under YB Prabhakaran, then suddenly someone else coming into the picture. All of a sudden. Okay, after a contract has been signed, suddenly somebody coming in and talking about 4 to 6 initiative. So that is the reason why I said, what happens to YB Prabhakaran?
So in that sense, are you saying that Mitra should not be blamed, it should be PMX?
There is Indian leaders to be blamed, put it that way. Okay?
Not PMX.
Not PMX. Maybe PMX is trying to help, but my this thing is that wrong advice is being given. Who is giving the wrong advice? Our own people.
Okay.
This is my point. So here, when somebody else comes into the picture, bypassing the chairman of MITRA, who has made us to undergo such a tedious process, so on that pretext, I say that he has been victimized.
Is that a telltale sign that perhaps whoever is above YB Prabha does not have faith in his capabilities, or is that just simply him being sidestepped?
I don't want to go into that. That is not my problem.
No, I'm just asking you to give a prediction.
My problem is the public's problem.
Okay, fair enough.
You see, there is no unity. This shows what? There is no unity among the Indian leaders. If 11, 13 people in the parliament, if you yourself don't have a unity among you all, how you're going to champion the rights of the Indian community in millions? You can't. Okay? 15 people cannot work along well.
Okay, that's true. I think for them to come together is going to be a miracle.
It's a real shame for the Indian community, isn't it? Okay, somebody is a chairman of MITRA, but somebody else is coming in.
But the problems that you're saying, sir, are not new problems. They've been there for decades. So my question every time when I meet people who are such as yourself, who are very passionate about this and all that, I ask myself, why are you all still looking up that tree? Because there is no fruit on that tree.
Correct.
Why don't we privatize the solution instead of blaming these YBs who, it's not just this current crop. Even the loud ones on the opposition side today, when they go to government, because of the code of ethics and all the code of conduct, they cannot speak simply.
I have an answer for this.
Okay, please.
Okay, my answer for this is that take away MITRA from the clutches of the politicians.
And give it to who?
And make it a jabatan.
Which is another one of your requests, yes.
Make it a government body.
Okay.
Okay, for example, Jabatan Kebajikan Orang Asli.
Yes.
Okay, politicians are not involved with. Of course, it will be in a particular ministry or whatever. I don't mind whichever ministry you put it in, but it cannot be a unit. You see, because it is a unit, it goes under the clutches of the politician. If it is a jabatan, it's a government body. You will have a hierarchy of officer, experts sitting in that, okay? And if it is a jabatan, you can have a branch in all the states. People don't have to run from Perlis to come down to KL, okay? And Mitra's powers is so restricted. I heard they don't even have the bank account.
They don't have an account, yes.
They don't
YB
even have a
Prabha
bank.
himself has admitted on my podcast, he doesn't have an account.
They don't even have a bank account. Every single thing, they have to go to Jabatan Perdana Menteri and get a signature.
Is this a lack of trust?
Who created this? So,
Najib,
if it is a lack of trust, then the government knows that the Indian leaders, the YBs, are not doing a good job.
So
why you are still keeping it as a unit?
So shouldn't then we go back to this? Then shouldn't your call be your call? Your siren call should be, hey, we need Mitra audited.
Yeah, of course. The independent commission is for that, Somebody have to request, Mr. Vinod,
Okay.
Put it that way, If I put it, okay, public, please request. Who's going to gather the public? And I tell you, sometimes it's very difficult to gather the Indian public.
Yes, that we know. that we know. That we know. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you said that, and you also brought it up just now. You said in the meeting that this meeting that you have called will be the turning point. Will be a turning point.
Yes.
A turning point to what?
A turning point for a better, for a transparency.
Okay.
In terms of allocation given by the government.
Okay.
And there will be a transparency of the transformation program and upgradation of MITRA from a unit to a jabatan.
Now, in that same press con, in your presentation, you asked a few questions regarding the 4 initiatives and MITRA. You asked about 6 questions. The questions basically seem to imply that, and you have brought it up just now, you asked who advises on these initiatives. Who advised? There was no meeting of public. If, as you put it, as you said, if that you alleged that there were no engagement with the public stakeholders, who advised, that means the wrong person advised, perhaps. What do you think drove these 4 initiatives? What was the reason behind it?
That's what I'm still going back.
Is it just to get votes? Is it just to appease?
Absolutely. You see, for the 4 initiative or the 6 initiative, even yesterday in Devanagara, YB Ramanan was talking so proudly about the 6 initiative. Okay, rather than you come out with this ancient 6 initiatives,
Yes.
why don't you look into the blueprint? As you correctly pointed out, the blueprint is already there.
Yeah.
If he actually look into the blueprint, you tell me. Now I'm asking you a question. Will he suggest a 6 initiative?
No.
No, because the blueprint is completely different. Okay, and that will bring in transformation. So whose thinking is the 6 initiative?
So that means
1%, 2%, I don't know.
Is this initiative just to appease the Indians, just
Correct.
like a drug to keep them high, rather than asking the right questions?
And also, this initiative have been subject to misuse.
How so?
Now I'm telling you. Okay, for example, temple issues. Okay, where is a report to say that temple actually has been given the right allocation? It's an easy target, right? Temple is an easy target.
Very easy.
Okay. Computer lab for the Tamil schools. You know, once upon a time, a laptop has been given.
Yes. I heard brand new.
It did. Yeah, I saw a video.
Very advanced laptops.
I saw the video and I was laughing. I was rolling and laughing.
Very laughable.
The guy said what, the guy said in the video, everything is old, but MITRA label is new.
Yes. That was very interesting.
We even haven't concluded that yet. You can come on a press conference and show some papers and say, this has already been handled. But you haven't shown us any documents. We really don't know whether that is true or not. So the need for the public commission is this. Somebody has to voice out. I think we have it for too long. I think the younger generation has to come. Okay. The other day I had a meeting. Of course, I'm not discrediting, the older generation. But where is the younger generation? This is your right. Come and ask. Because your father and your mother have worked hard and make you a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or IT professional, that doesn't mean it stops there.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Because
the
you are
M40 have sort
comfortable
of left politics.
Yes,
They
so
don't get
you don't want
involved.
to go into the politics because you are well off. Please, I'm telling the younger generation, please come forward, okay?
Why does it matter where the fund comes? This is another question you brought up, which you said just now. You said, why take from MITRA? If it is transformational, what does it matter where the money comes from?
Yeah, it really does. You say, MITRA need to be funded, right?
No, I mean, these 4 initiatives, your issue is that why take it from MITRA? But if these programs are transformational, as you also sort of agreed, you agree that these programs can transform, then what does it matter?
I think you know the answer. Is it transformational? Okay.
Computer lab.
Okay.
It seems like, okay, this is my thing. Especially in the terms of computer labs, housing, and the allowance for estate workers. Okay, the allowance for estate workers also seems like a one-off. But these 2 things, they seem to focus on human capital development. right? They want to better, because we have shortages of engineers, shortages of STEM workers, cyber crime, all we have shortages. So we are going towards that as a country. It is transformational in a sense. But so does it matter if it comes from MITRA?
What MISI is doing?
MISI is also doing some work.
Yes.
Money also came from MITRA. They are also transforming.
You see, that's what I see. What I'm trying to say here is, okay, there is already funding available.
But MOE funding, most of it is used for emoluments. It's used for salaries. That's a known fact. That is why MOE rarely has enough money to enact the things, because the allocations given are mostly used for salaries, right? So they don't have the money. But if you say that our community is victimized, you say we have problems, does it matter where the money comes from as long as these problems are addressed?
My answer to this is that I do not see the 6th initiative as a transformative initiative. Okay? Let's say Tadika. Okay, you're allocating 10 million.
Okay.
I'm not saying that this is not important. Yes, it is important. If other Tadikas can be sponsored by the Education Ministry or some other body, some other agency, why shouldn't the Indian Tadika?
Schools, yeah.
And now, you tell me, okay, by transforming these little children, okay, how is he going to transform? We are in a dire need to transform. How the kindergarten children is going to transform? Look at the bigger spectrum. Okay, is it the real need of the community? Okay,
for Tadikas.
This can be addressed. I'm not saying, okay, but approach the Education Ministry. Tell them, okay, see how much we can take from them. Aren't this the duty of the Indian representative?
Of course, that is, yeah, to voice out the needs.
Now let us look into the dialysis. It's under Jabatan Kebajikan. Are you saying that none of the Indians is getting fund for dialysis?
They are.
They are getting.
Yeah.
Okay? Is our Indian kidney so special that we need money from MITRA to take and put it in that?
But you have to understand, sir, that is
I'm
an emotional issue.
Yes,
because if
very
MITRA
sensitive.
removes this, the opposition leaders, many of whom came to your event, will immediately say, MITRA doesn't care for the Indians, that's why they remove all these things that the poor people need, dialysis and all that.
What I mean is that, go to Jabatan Kebajikan, tell them the number of dialysis patient in the Indian community has increased.
Okay.
Okay? Rather than you have allocation for 500, can I have for 2,000 now? I have a record. I have done a survey. I've done a research. It shows it's no longer 500. I need for 2,000. This is what they should do, rather than just taking this money and putting it there. Again, I'm repeating, please define the word transformation properly.
Okay.
Okay? This is not for compassionate or humanitarian fund. It's two different things. I'm sure you have heard about humanitarian fund,
yes.
but this is not a humanitarian fund. This is a transformational fund. Every penny that you spend on the transformational fund, okay, you must ensure the transformation happens. You see, of course, I might look like a bad guy now. Oh my God, how come this guy goes there and deprive me of the...
I can assure you, you're a very nice man. So.
But there is a difference between humanitarian fund and also transformational fund. So this is, okay, for example, okay.
Does transformation happen overnight?
It's not been happening for 30 years. Yes, it's not happening overnight, but we have given decades. Mr. Vinod, am I right?
It's hard to counter that point.
We have already given decades. Okay? Of course, overnights, no.
Yeah.
You take about Pembai Pulean Kecil Rumah Penduduk Estate. 1 of 1,000. Today we are in 2025. What renovation can you done? In 1,000 ringgit.
No, and plus, most Indians are not in their estates anymore. They have urbanized.
Exactly.
So I don't know which Indian house they're going to do.
And I think to counter this also, I'm telling you, Felda, Guthrie, okay, IOI, okay, they are now the owners of the estates. Especially Felda, you go to their to go to their plantation, beautiful houses for the estate workers. Beautiful houses for the estate worker. Okay? You see, I'm not against a corporate company. Okay? Rather than giving 1,000, which is not going to uplift and not going to transform.
Yeah.
1,000 ringgit is not going to transform.
And
Okay.
you can't do much renovation with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Deva Nagara, YB Ramanan is talking about e-kase 100 ringgit. Transform. Can it that transform the entire community? You see, where is the element of transformation? I have confined myself to that particular keyword, transformation. Anything, if I don't see a transformation there, don't touch Mitra.
Do you not worry about what you're doing now when you do these town hall meetings and asking for the 100 million, and we'll get to the court case that you're doing? Aren't you worried that you're maybe painting Indians in a very bad light, that we are begging for money?
No, we are. What am I to paint? It's already been painted. I'll give you an example,
Yes.
a clear example. Okay. 43 SST recipient, okay, SST Mitra funding recipient with SST. 13 has been further approved. Who approved? I don't know. Okay. They look into all the 43. I don't know whether that happened or not.
I think the father of a very good friend.
Very easy pick. Very easy pick.
Yeah.
Class Devaram 6.
Okay.
Tamil Literature 1. Okay. Bola Sepa 3.
Okay.
Okay. Then after that, STPM, the only one which I think maybe can transform is STPM. Okay. And
So football also can. Come on.
and the worst, Gunting Rambut. 1. Okay. These are the types of high impact transformational program selected by the person who advised the Prime Minister. Can we progress? You tell me this program.
Of course not. Of course not.
On top of that, what I will come to that ELMS. Okay. I come to the ELMS. Even the 13 people, the reduction of the fund is for some of them 70%. Because they come to me, they said, I received a call from Mitra to say that they are giving us funding, but minus 70%. 30%, but they want us to do the same program. And Mr. Vinod, please trust me, some of them are accepting it.
Which you have said in your press con. You said you asked these people who are accepting to not accept it.
Yes, exactly. Despite that.
Because you said it will help your court case.
Yes, exactly.
Why? Why is it because you don't get, they also can't get?
No, but what I mean is that look at the discriminative element there. If you have given a full funding, okay, let's don't dispute the impact of the program, the 13 program chosen.
Yes.
Okay, I respect all the programs. Okay, make it. Why there must be a reduction? But you have to do the same program. These people have to think. Okay, if they agree to do, what will be the quality?
Substandard.
You see, sometimes it's not only a matter of quantity, Mr. Vinod. It's a matter of quality. You see, I am also not saying the Indian community did not receive anything. Whatever they receive is substandard. This is my point as well. Okay? Did Indian community receiving really high quality compare with the Chinese? Look at their programs.
But one of the demands that, let me get to that. Sorry, I just picked up your statement. You say, look at the Chinese. The Chinese are independent. That we are dependent. You cannot compare the two. The Chinese they have associations that have raised hundreds of millions for their schools. That is why the schools have giant pillars, big roofs, aircon in the room. Although the education system, they are in results, they are not to say better than the Indians. Let's be very clear on that. I've interviewed teachers who have told me, they said that is a myth. That people say Chinese school students do much better. No, that's a myth. I myself have seen the Tamil students speaking fantastic English. Fantastic. I think 9 years old. Crazy. Knowing about space and all these things. I went for a recent program. But then the fault comes is, why are the Indians consistently led by people such as yourself to keep demanding enough? How long will it take for you to say that Mitra should be scrapped? Name me 1 year that Mitra has done fantastic.
You are talking for me. Thank you. I don't know whether to answer or to ask you a question back. But anyway.
No, because my
Mr.
question to you is,
Mr.
then shouldn't the argument be save or scrap Mitra?
For me, no. Upgrade it to Jabatan. I'm not in favor of abolishing. You see, it's important for the community. Okay. Now you say when I raise about Chinese community, you say they are independent. The few decades, why we are only less than 7%. They are even 28%. Why we didn't become?
Because of people like you, sir. let me say this and be very upfront with you and honest. I say why. Your intentions are noble. The program you want to do is fantastic, right? I do agree with you. There is a spiritual crisis. I do agree, and I think that's a pathway to better life. But your ask is not that we focus on the other things like MIB, or we demand our leaders to start demanding from the government to our leaders to do something to make us remove this dependence. We are just asking for Mitra money. As you have said, one of your demands in this is that you want the 43 programs to be granted full funding as per what promised.
Correct.
Then you are still continuing on a process that's making us dependent. No. So you carry the responsibility as well.
Yes, I do carry the responsibility. But this movement is not going to stop. Okay, I told you Mitra is a triggering point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I need to deal with this triggering point first.
Okay.
Okay. After dealing with this triggering point, you see, at some point, okay, I have jumped from the sky. Nobody knows me.
Yeah.
Okay. I've jumped from the sky. Okay. I also have to build confidence. Okay. The society or the community must see us doing something.
Yes.
If they wanted to back this movement, not me, to back this movement, okay, something must happen. The triggering point is Mitra. Let's deal with Mitra first. Okay. You see, in my town hall meeting, I did not only talk about Mitra alone. There are so many other beautiful things like independent public commissions. It's about upgrading Mitra into a Jabat. There are so many other things as well. But you can't do everything at one go. Okay. There are few people who have to sit back again. Okay. Maybe we have to go back to the blueprint. We don't have to spend money. And anyway, this movement doesn't have money anyway, okay? So we have to look into the blueprint again and see how we are going to move forward. But let's deal with Mitra issue first.
Then why make it into a Jabatan, as you said just now? So I was just about to ask you, why make it a Jabatan when it has no track record?
See, to make it a Jabatan, it's to empower Mitra. Mitra is powerless. Mr. Vino, don't you know that? You just told me, They don't even have a bank account. What can I do with Mitra? You see, if the Indian community need to be transformed, they need a powerful tool.
Then why not replicate SINDA? The socio-economic, the social Indian, I can't remember what it stands for now, sorry. But SINDA is in Singapore.
But the model of Mitra is from there, right?
No. SINDA is public funded.
Okay.
That means it's like EPF, but the cuts come from salary to this fund. Why not we ask for that? Forget Mitra, scrap it.
Why not? Fantastic.
That's why you should ask. But you are the community leader, not me.
Yeah. You are part of us, right?
No.
You are part of us, right? Okay.
Hey, I didn't sign any form or anything.
So you see, this is what I'm saying. Younger generation like you all must come. Because you see, the thinking process of this generation has changed so much. But the only thing is that they mind their own business. Until we mind our own business, okay, you cannot champion the right of the public. Okay. Because you see, people, you go to the lower level, you see, they are now also, you see, it's a game, right? It's a political game.
Yes.
They're trying to cater the people with the lower income and lower standing by giving them temples, by giving them, they talk about the Tamil school, they talk about temples, very ancient.
You also mentioned that these 4 initiatives should be postponed to 2026 because you say that it's not so far away.
Exactly.
So why say that?
You already started something. You already signed a contract.
Are you prioritizing yourself above the other stakeholders?
No, not at all. What I'm trying to say is that, okay, if this 4 initiative is imminent, then I'll say go ahead. Okay? I feel this can wait. There are so many other 95 beautiful programs, okay? Finish it first. Who
Okay.
knows? It will give a greater impact.
Okay.
Okay? And I feel the 95 programs, if that is implemented, okay, I think that will give a better impact rather than the 6 program.
Okay. What is the fate of Mitra in your eyes? Should we save it? Should we scrap it?
I would say upgrade it. I would still stand on that point, okay?
Okay.
I don't want to lose the 100 million, okay? I must see how I can make it better.
Is the
okay?
answer a much bigger allocation, as what some opposition
A
leaders
bigger
have?
allocation, a bigger power, a bigger intervention of the government, the role of government, okay? You see, like for orang asli, the government are standing, okay? And I think we have been pulled so low that we need this kind of a help.
Now, just to the other part, you talk about the chain of processes to be undertaken, where you say there's a memorandum which you have already passed to the representative who came from the Prime Minister's office. You're calling for all YBs responsible for a meeting with the public. You say you want to take legal action, peaceful demonstration. So let's go to the second part. Do you really think that these Indian YBs will show up for a meeting with the public?
Thank you. Thanks for asking this question, okay? Whichever way, we succeed. If you come,
That sounds like a politician speaking.
yes, if you come,
I know.
you can address the issue of the public. You're putting the public at heart. Thank
Yeah.
you. If you don't come, I can show to the public,
You don't
this
care.
is a leader that you have. Okay? Please rise. Okay? This is not going to help. Whichever way.
I didn't know you were also a politician.
No,
sir.
I'm not, please.
Yeah. You start off by saying you're a spiritual guru and all that. I didn't know politics was there as well. Okay.
I'm not at all. You see, politics is very new to me. Even some
Doesn't
people,
sound like it.
Some people even criticized, you
Yeah.
know. Some people even criticized me, or there was a lack in the town hall meetings and things like that. I told them, "What are you expecting? This is the first time I'm coming to the public. Okay, I'm coming to the public. You see, my intention of definitely being a spiritual master. But if nobody is asking, I'm telling you something. This Mitra issue, they would have calmed it down so beautiful if nobody voiced it out. The 43 SST people that we take, how many people do you think will come forward to question? They will think, this is my fate. Always happened like this. Now also have happened like that, okay? I thought no. You asked me just now, isn't it, why I came into the picture? I gave a deep thought about it. I'm very happy with my spiritual classes, teaching children spirituality in the right way. I'm very happy. I'm very contented with my life.
Okay.
This is the last thing that I wanted in my life, you know. I want a peaceful life, you know. But I thought to myself, you know, even in meditation, I just thought to myself, if nobody is questioning, how long this is going to happen? At least spark something, at least start something. It's only on that noble intention I came in, not for fame or anything like that, okay? And I don't need it as well, okay? But if this movement can go to the public, to the victims, the Indian community, why not? And I define this is part of spirituality, karma yoga. Put it that way.
When you said what you said that, you know, the people, will they attend or will they support your movement because they would feel, this is just my fate, right? I applied, I didn't get, or whatever, right? This is not just unique to Mitra. This happens, even I myself have experienced it when in my previous job, I used to apply look for financial support for companies and all that. And we used to apply for grants and also I've applied for MDEC grant, pitch-in, Cradle, Mosti and all sorts. Sometimes you just don't get it and they tell you, look, your idea is not novel enough, we can't give you. And that's just the way it is. Why is it for us Indians, there is a sense of entitlement? No, we must have that. Because in that SST, as you put, there is a clause that says the government has the right to retract this offer.
Yes. See, I put it this way. Yeah? Information is wealth.
Yes.
In our community, that is not available. Okay? Number 2, okay? You said you made many applications. Have you heard about Taraju?
Yes, Antaraju. Yes, I've heard of Antaraju.
What did they? They help you how to make the application to be successful. Now I'm telling you, how many people came forward to help you with the application? Is that information given to you?
Maybe that should be started by you instead of fighting for Mitra.
See, one by one. Mitra, I'm telling you again, Mitra is only a triggering point. Okay? You see, Mitra issue will die 30th of November 2025.
Why?
If the money is not being used,
it'll go back.
the money will go to MOF. You can shout, you can scream, you can do whatever. Okay? This issue is only there for another 28 days. Okay? It's 2 months, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Okay? But let's look into the bigger spectrum. Okay? RMK 13. Okay, how many billions has been allocated? Okay, we look into the bigger spectrum. Where does the Indian community stand in that? Okay, perkampungan China is there, perkampungan India tak ada. Okay, there are a lot of things that you have to do. You know, for that you need manpower. Who's going to analyze this? Me alone? Can I do that? Even I don't know how many eyes are watching me now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really need people to come forward for us to do a very successful movement. The public has to come forward. And you said just now also, you said that, Uma Gandhan and all these things. Do you know I call them personally? I'm not here to find fame, okay? I say all come, all the activities come. Let us all work for the same goal. It really doesn't matter whether it's Uma Gandhan or Baskaran. Really doesn't matter
Exactly.
to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Of course, we all have to come together.
Exactly. So that is the reason why I name it by the public, for the public.
So then let's go to your legal action. What do you aim to do with this?
The legal action, you see, being an advocate myself, okay? The first question the judge normally asks is, okay, what is your amicable settlement with the government? Have you done anything? Okay. So of course, in my summons, I have to put that, we have sent a memorandum, we have sent this, we have sent that, we have this, nothing happens. And therefore, we came to the court as a last resort. Okay. So for that, we are doing all this work. Okay. But court is always a last resort. Okay, who is going to fund? There's another issue there, isn't it? Okay, there are only 43 of us. Okay, if I'm going to focus completely on this Mitra, as you correctly said, I'm narrowing now down the motive of this, the motto of this movement, right? It's going to be only focused on that. Okay.
What is the motto? By the people, for the people.
No, what I mean is that the motto by the people, there are so many other things that we are asking.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want to narrow it down to Mitra alone. You see, all the 43 first must come.
So is your goal then to just ride on issues as opposed to deal with the solution? Because as you said, until November, then this issue cannot be changed. Whatever happens, we have to just accept it, right? So I mean, is this just your way of riding this wave? Or are you really committed into finding a solution?
I'm really, really committed, See, solution is one. Creating awareness is another. Okay? See, a lot of people, they are not aware what is happening.
Yeah.
The problem with the Indian community is also awareness. Awareness of their own rights. Lot of us, we don't know what is our rights. So that is the reason why for decades, our leaders have been taken granted on us. They've taken us for granted because the public is not aware of their right. If they are aware of their right, they can pinpoint, hey, this is supposed to come to me. Just even take educational loan. Okay? Take educational loan. I was sponsored by Koch Foundation.
By who?
By Koch. By Koch
Koch.
Foundation.
Oh, Koch Foundation.
Koch
Ah,
Foundation.
okay.
Okay? Not an Indian foundation. Okay?
So interesting. If you gain benefit from a multicultural approach by a foundation, shouldn't that be a national way to approach issues from a multicultural in a multicultural level, which we have seen in the RMK 13?
Yeah, it's a multicultural approach. We are not here condemning the Malays or condemning the Chinese.
No, but you are going race-based. You are saying Mitra is a remnant of race-based policy. It is one of them, right? Besides the Malay affirmative action agencies, but Mitra is one of them. So if you benefited from an organization using multicultural ideologies, Shouldn't that be practiced for everyone?
But now I'm saying, okay, multicultural, yes. But what is the percentage? You can't even walk into Koch Foundation office if you don't have, I'm talking about 90s, if you don't have 3 or 4 A's in your STPM certificate.
But that's up to the students, huh?
And no, but what I mean is that, where is such foundation for Indians? I'm asking you that. Even if there exists something like that, it's have been very impartial, isn't it? They have been given to their cronies. I studied in UK, as I told you, okay? When I go there, I really see people who do not have good results are coming under full scholarship of something given by the... please don't make me to name.
I think everybody knows what you're talking about.
And I, who have such a good credentials, good credits, I have to back people and, why?
So then, it boils down to the same point. Are you spending your time and your resources on the right subject? Because like you said, let's talk about education. Let's focus on that. You had good credits, you had good scores, but you struggled to get funding. Other people who didn't got there very easy, okay? I think a lot of people can relate to that. But so isn't then the answer to say, look at these things and say, look, to hell with all of this. Let's privatize the solution. You start up a foundation built on principles that are not out there to be interpreted or to be changed. That you help Indians get study in various places.
Exactly, this is a point.
So why waste your time on Mitra?
Okay, now look here. You see, so are you saying that, you don't need any help and you just tell the government, okay, don't help us, just leave us alone? Why?
Because, you see, every Indian, a lot of Indians recently on this podcast especially have come here and asked for Indian leaders to unite. Why would the Indian leaders unite when we, the Indian people itself, cannot unite under one banner? For example, under your foundation that says, no, we do things for all Indians, everyone. Our goal is to get X many students in this many courses. You do it. That means you are saying, I'm taking the problem in my own hands. I'm solving it by myself. As per what the Chinese did that you just quoted. Why Mitra, which I think from what you have said, from the evidence, we don't know who is at the driver's seat. We don't know anything about it. Scrap it, privatize the solution.
See, MITRA is one of it, okay? MITRA is one of it, okay? When this movement grows, obviously we will look into... You see, why I spoke about co-foundation? Because I want such a foundation for the Indian community. You also correctly pointed out, transformation is not going to happen overnight, am I right? Okay.
For the Malays, it took 30 years.
At least we have to venture into it. If not today, okay? So if you're going to see, the only things that we have at the moment is MITRA. So MITRA is the government initiative. We keep it. Okay, the government is giving, we keep it. We also have to find other solutions. You see, there are good organization, lottery club, this, engaging all of them. Okay, this is what our leaders are not doing it. So what I'm trying to say here is that my intent is not to abolish it. It's one of the place where we can get funding. Okay, then let's the public think about what is the other avenue. You see, if people are going to come to the jabatan, even let's look into jabatan kebajikan orang asli or not. They are not only depending on the funding from the government. They also do other works at the side. There are a lot of
social
private,
entrepreneurships and all that.
There are a lot of private institutions. I'm not saying that there is none in T20 Indians. Is it not? There are none in T20.
No,
is it?
No,
a lot. Okay, engaging. But I don't see these people engaging. Of course, we can create numerous private institutions for the benefit of the Indian community as well.
Why not? Why not you take the lead, sir?
Why not? But the public, you see, the public has to come forward. I can't do it myself. It's not. See, the reason why I come into the picture now is to look into helping the Indian or transforming the Indian community in a bigger spectrum.
Okay.
MITRA alone is not my this thing. Let it go. Let it go in one way. Why removing that? Okay, there are so many other ways, but who is going to look at it? Okay, if the public is not voicing it out, okay, if the right person is not sitting in the right place, okay, who is going to do and champion all these things, meeting all this organization? Okay, one thing which is certain is that all the organization knows, okay, that the fate of the Indian community, but nobody is approaching the right people. And I'm sure I can even name now a few people who will come forward. Okay, but their only condition is that if I give you the funding, will that be channeled properly? We lost trust.
Exactly. We suffer from a perception crisis.
Exactly.
Yeah, trust
we,
faith, yeah.
we suffer from that.
I give you one story. I won't name the school, but I went to the school recently, and I think this was one of the PIBG members who told me that a very rich guy, very wealthy businessman came to that school, donated money because they wanted to build certain infrastructure. Just call it A, lah. Okay, they took that money and built B.
Exactly.
And this infrastructure doesn't serve the students; it serves the teachers. So after that, the guy said, "Then I'm not donating, lah."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens? You lost a person who have civic mind, who is willing to help the Indian community. You lost him. You completely lost him. Okay. So now to build this will take time.
Yeah.
You see, the people that I'm talking in the T20 community, all of them are telling me the same thing. If I give you the money, will it be channeled properly? Okay. So you see, the Indian leaders have not only I don't use mismanaged the government allocation, they also have created a reputation which deter us from getting help from elsewhere as well.
Okay, let's bring this an end to this by going one full circle. What's the ultimate goal? What's your ultimate goal with the town hall meeting and your future plans?
Right, my future plan is obviously, of course, I said everything triggered by MITRA.
Yes.
Okay, let us look into MITRA. It's just a matter of few months, I'm quite confident that we can make some changes now. At least now the government know the public is questioning.
Yeah.
This is the greatest message, okay? So at least next year, they will be very careful in whatever they are doing, okay? One. Then after that, we will take on the Indian issues on our hand. The first we need to do is that we need to dig, okay? SIDIC and MITRAs, or the previous funding, okay? We need to request the government. I'm already speaking to Puan Nuruliza about it, okay? To see whether we can have a public commission, okay, which works along with the government and not to be headed by a politician.
Okay.
I'm not accepting it because there will be a conflict of interest.
You want a private citizen, huh?
Yes. There are prominent member of public.
Many.
Very, very good people. Identify them, put them there, okay? And I will try to push the government as much as possible, okay? Then after that, we see how we can upgrade MITRA, put it aside. We also have to have a committee which works of getting funding like Ayaya Santaraju. We form our own, beautiful idea, okay? So I want more youngsters to come in, take lead of it and make sure that, the whatever money that we have channeled in a proper way. Address the public issues.
Are you an apolitical organization or are you politically inclined? Please be honest.
No, not at all.
You are not siding anywhere.
No, I'm a spiritualist, But of course, I'm from the legal profession. But today, I will just say, I don't know, maybe the divine wants me to question this. I'm just coming and questioning this. But I don't see a career in it or my future in it. My mentality is very different. People who knows me, people who comes to my school, okay, to my spiritual school, they know who I am, okay? But I am only here because nobody is voicing out. I don't think so. Just doing a TikTok, these things, and will help. It has to be a massive movement, okay, so that the government hears us.
Will you ever, if when you say massive movement, the name that comes to mind is Hindraf. That was once a massive movement that I
Yes.
was, as a student, I was so taken aback by that. I was so in awe of Bindraft, right? The largest gathering of Indians. We've never seen one since.
Correct.
But it all crumbled when the leaders went into politics. So when the time comes, if this becomes the large movement that you want to, when the fruit of temptation is dangling over you, would you succumb and join
See,
politics?
I give you my idea. My idea is creating a check and balance. Okay? If this movement is successful, if we can be an authority there who check and balance, people who hold the position will do the job.
Okay.
At the moment, they are left loose. Nobody is questioning them. Okay? They are friends of each other in the parliament or whatever it is. Okay? There is no check and balance.
Okay.
Okay, this idea, you might ask, oh, how did you get this idea? Okay, I lived in UK for 17 years. I know how a political things was moved there. The involvement of the public. You can't do one little thing, immediately they will call for a town hall meeting. Okay, and question. So before they do something, they know there is a check and balance from the public. That is very much lacking in this country. Okay?
So you want to be an apolitical organization that's a check and balance?
Why it has to have the shadow of a political party? No need.
No, exactly. So I'm saying it's an apolitical. That means it's not anyone.
Yes.
Okay. So that's we'll
I
check in with you, sir.
I think only this will work. You know why? Because India failed us. Once upon a time, it is a movement by the public.
Yeah.
Okay? You know Vedamurti was in the UK. I just told you I was in the UK.
Yeah. And you
So
also...
I really know. So I really know what happens over there.
Okay.
People can shout and scream. Okay? But let's have a bit of a check and balance. I'm still telling you now, the very good people in the Indian community, they don't want to come into the politics because of this.
That's true. Because they don't have the trust in the system.
Why don't we work with these people? It's always nice to have a subsidiary, right? You correctly point. I know where you are coming from. You're again and again asking me the question, why Mitra alone? Why Mitra alone? Now I'm giving you an answer. Why Mitra alone? Okay? Engage with this organization, Even for example, I'm telling you, okay? How much of engagement they have with Modi, Prime Minister Modi?
I mean, an okay amount, I guess.
No, for other matters,
No.
okay?
But for Indian matters?
For Indian matters.
No, I don't think that much
Why
at all.
not? We haven't explored that at all. That doesn't mean go and get funding from him. But what I mean is that in the universities in India, okay, we can get placement for our children. Okay? And I tell you
Businesses
now,
can do business
I
then.
give you a news now. Okay? There is somebody who has gone to find out, okay? I don't know whether it might be a hearsay or rumors or whatever. And he approached a few universities who told them, we are already giving Malaysian students 20 seats in a few particular. Okay? Record shows.
Are you saying to one particular party?
Record shows who attended, who taken the 20 seats.
Yeah. I heard it's only one party that's... So
You know the answer.
Yeah, so it is these practices that have made the people, I think the M40 and all that, lose trust.
Exactly.
Because they say, look, it's all the same. Right. So thank you, sir, for coming on.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. I truly enjoyed this conversation. You always have a seat on this podcast. Please come back whenever you want to talk about other
Sure.
issues as well.
Of course. When we progress.
Progress, yes, please.
Progress, we will come back.
Yes,
and
in
have a
fact,
meeting.
tomorrow I'm talking to Dr. Vinogiri.
I see. Okay.
Yes, so she's coming on as well to share
Okay.
her journey in the MITRA application. That was quite, it was quite sad to see her video. So thank you so much, sir.
Sure, no
all the
problem.
best.
Thank you very
I
much.
hope you are a apolitical leader.
Okay, sure. And I really hope that you will be part of us.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So, guys, that was Master Baskaran. Again, a very nice conversation and constructive one, I hope, for you all who are listening. And share your thoughts in the comments. Now, do you think we should save or scrap MITRA? Do you think that Indian leaders should be focusing on other issues apart from MITRA? What do you think about the current focus, or over-focus, if you will, on the MITRA issue? And share your thoughts on other issues that these guys should be really fighting for and what you expect. And also, If you guys want to join Master Baskaran and his movement, we'll be sharing the links in the description. You can contact him and see how you guys can work together. Any movement that does good for the Indians is always a good movement by my book. So thank you so much, sir. We'll see you all soon, guys. We have many fantastic interviews coming your way. We have, as I mentioned, Dr. Vinogiri, who's going to share her experiences with MITRA, as well as the amazing work she's doing in the space of mental health, and other politicians coming your way as well. So we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.